Hello. So, uh, last Sunday, I was live, and it didn't, like I promised, I didn't uh, came live on last Sunday. It was because Diwali happened, and uh, I didn't, uh, I wasn't feeling like coding that day, so I didn't. But anyways, now I'm here. There was one viewer, but they went away. Never mind. We can work on. I think this is going to be our. We are probably on the last stages of our game. Not quite. Maybe more than half away. We have. So till now we have worked on controls. First of all, we started with the whole layout. As you can see here, this whole layout, the 10 by 20 rectangle of pixels, and each pixel attains values. Color is empty, and all they attain those values and can be used. Let me just increase the volume. Sorry for that. We sort of this was the for the play area, of course, and then what the second thing we did was try to figure out the controls, because in every game there must be controls, right? So in this game we started with the left motion, no, sorry, first of all we worked on rendering the block, and then we worked on left motion and right motion, sorry, the rotation motion, which as you can see, this is the rotation motion which is applied when we press W. As you can see in the console, we press W, and then we worked on left and right motion, how the left and right would work. That was our third agenda. And then we worked on falling of these blocks, because it is the main part of the game. It keeps the game moving. It keeps the game in. It is the main mechanics of the game which needs to be done. So we worked on the falling motion, where we handled the start when the block is rendered. So it started exactly when there is the block gets rendered, there is a block visible, it starts right then. And then we worked on its end, where would it end. So either it would end on the bottom of this the screen, or else it would end on any block that is on the bottom of the screen, which we called down the line we called them bottom blocks. I'm not that great with naming schemes. I'm not that great with naming schemes, so we call them bottom blocks or accumulated blocks, anything we can call them. So when at the end we worked on bottom block management, which meant storing the state of the bottom blocks that are accumulated here. And then we worked on a control which was left because without bottom block management, S cannot work. S is when you press S, the block should fall down, and which we worked on, which we tried to work on last stream, but it didn't work because I got exhausted a lot. So I just thought maybe I should work on it after the stream. So after the stream I worked on it. It is pretty buggy, I would say, because our whole approach from the start is a little primitive approach. That's why you can see that when I press S, sometimes it just overlaps with them, which is not good. And right now I don't want to concentrate on them, but other than that, sometimes it works fine like this. Sometimes it doesn't. The probability of it not working is a little high, which is wrong. But for now we should work on. I think we should proceed. See, sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. Like this. I don't know. I need to figure it out. I know, but cannot right now. Okay. I think it should be okay. I think why is this making? Why is my oh no, what? Anyways, so 2853 48. What? I'm sorry. Actually, my OBS and the software that I use for streaming is bugging out. Reminds me of that meme. Sometimes it good. Sometimes I yes. Is profanity filter on? I think YouTube in general doesn't like profanity in chat. I should just check it out first. Tech audience, it's made not for kids. Yeah. Sorry if the profanity filter is on. I don't know how to shut it down. Anyways, my streaming software had stopped giving that notification sound, which is good for now. Let's work on so where was I? So the S key is also done, and now we need to work on one case that we found in our last stream, that is so if there is this tower, right, accumulated blocks are on the bottom, and if I move if I move a block left, so it would just go it would just go without any collision. It would go like a hot knife through a butter. So this is not good behavior. I guess it is good if you want to cheat, but it's not for now for me. So we need to work on that. By the way, it works sometimes, and when it works, I'll like it. But I think I need to figure out why these are also these cases are coming, which or else it will just break. Anyways, let's move on. Movement check. The whole tower thing. I think working on it would be a little tough because creating such scenario is a little difficult, and the more difficult it is to create such a scenario, the more difficult it is to resolve that scenario. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, so here is our code. Did I work on something? Okay, this whole thing, there are sometimes it bear in mind sometimes it throws an error which it is not supposed to throw. But so there are two bugs which right now I cannot work on because I had to meet the deadline of 4 p.m. which I apparently missed by 20 minutes. Anyways, so let's continue. So exactly like when we exactly like the falling check, current block falling if has reached bottom, it would just add the block to the bottom, right? If has reached, if has okay. There are two so sorry if I just stop talking sometime because I start to think and just to forget that I'm streaming, which is one of some issues I am facing nowadays when I stream, because I just zone out and so what we are trying to do is, if these are the blocks, right? So and this is some block, the block which is falling, right? What we want to do is, while in motion, if it is when it is going to update, so just before there would be one loop. Whoa. Whoa. Do you see the rectangle I just made? Oh damn. If you have seen the rectangle, damn. On paint. I did it on paint. Oh damn. Oh boy. How did I do that? Are you seeing this? Still surprised I am. Anyways, so let me continue with it. So there, at a given point, there would be a moment where this block would be one block away from being collided. Okay, so at that time we would have an old current block and the new current block. The new current, that particular point, there would be an old current block which would be this block, the perfect rectangle, and there would be a block which would be like this, overlapping with the one blocks, any block, the pixel which it doesn't need to be collided, which we want to make sure that it doesn't. Okay, so what we are going to do is I know, right? Awesome. It's a great I want to I'm grateful that it happened on stream. I can make a clip out of it for today. Anyways, so there would be an old block and a new block. The old one would be this, and the new one would be the one which would overlap with the existing blocks. So what we will do is, before old block is replaced by the new block, we will make sure that it doesn't, and it keeps and the command, that is the command that we are pressing, A or B, A or T, it would just do nothing. Okay, so that way we will avoid being overlapped, and it will continue falling down. And if there is some corner or any caveat that occurs, it would just go on with it instead of overlapping with it. And this one is going to be quite difficult, I think so, because inner working of JavaScript is somewhat sandbox for me, and that's why these overlapping that we are facing right now, these also come inside those knowledge that I don't have right now, so inner working that I don't know. So we'll just pray to God that basic JavaScript techniques would work fine here, or else I'll just I don't know what I'm going to do then, but I hope it would work. And if it doesn't, then it would look like this. See, this should not happen, which is happening because of something some knowledge I don't have, and some bugs that I'm choosing to ignore for now. Anyways, let's get to it then. I'm saving this, by the way. Best rectangle. See, I don't know how to spell it, but I can make a good rectangle out of okay. So, by the way, one more thing, if I increase the speed of this whole falling scenario, let me just show you. Where is it? 100. Oh yes, 500. So if I increase the speed, that means I decrease the time. I'll just break the whole game. See? So do you see what I'm trying to say? So by increasing the speed, I just made sure that there is overlap between two things at the same time, two commands at the same time. I don't think that it is how JavaScript works, because JavaScript is a single threaded language. It has made sure that everything works on single thread, but still, maybe I am somehow overlapping two commands, because of which this is happening. And you see, because not only JavaScript, I even don't know the inner working of React, right? So because it would take a lot of research to work on it, but just like everyone else, I am also figuring out things. So anyways, we'll just increase the speed for now. Why is it not okay? Sorry, decrease the speed for now, so that no such overlapping happens, but it would make the animation slow. That's why I worked on the S functionality first, so that I don't have to wait for them to fall. I'll just press S. So I guess it was a good time to work on it. Anyways, I think so I should also work on the whole accumulation that happens here. I should work on it too before working on it, because that would just never mind. I'll just work on the S movement, sorry, the left right movement first, and then and then rotation, and then I'll work on the whole this thing that's breaking here. Anyway, so let's go. Make a tower. So now when I press move left, update move, new current block, old block, they both are has reached bottom. Okay, so has reached bottom. So when it is falling, also I have added X so that I can stop it whenever I want. Stop the whole thing if it is annoying me. Anyways, I have just added it. Just wanted to clarify if you were wondering. Anyways, so for the falling, I want to check how I added falling checks. Okay, so if this happens, has reached bottom, then this would happen, right? So and then has reached bottom. Okay, so when the falling would happen, in falling function, what I did was there was a check which would normal function would run current block. If current block is there, then it would create a new current block would be the updated current block with added pixels, and then it would check for the new current block whether it has reached the bottom blocks, which are the accumulated blocks, or if it has reached the bottom, which is the line, the greater than 19 line. And then if both are false, sorry, has reached bottom. I don't know why it's not. I think I false. Anyways, once it has, if these checks are not true, then it would go here and it would just update the pixels. Add, wait, what? Okay, sorry, has not reached. Okay, so has reached would be this, and this would be, I'm just shifting these both so that I have a clarification in my mind. So this whole function is such that current block is created, using the current block a new block is created with 1 y-axis added. Then it is checked with the bottom blocks that are accumulated, which would just be that all the pixels would be all the pixels below it would be checked, and then if they are not empty, then it would just add it to the bottom. That means it would just add it to the pixel. Okay, and if it is empty, then it would go to the next where it would check that whether it has exceeded the bottom line. If no, then that means this would be false, then it would just keep on falling. Okay, so this was the whole function. Exactly like this we would keep the move left and right. So this function would be the bottommost else, and any caveat that occurs, any such event that occurs that are like collision or this something, that would be handled here before it any else happens. Okay, so here check current block reach bottom blocks. I think I should add this, like I think just I have worked on this, right? So what this function would do is current block takes the new current block, screen pixels. Okay, they would have the y-axis and the x-axis, right? So it would just go in the, this is the screen pixel, right? Okay, so it would go on check with each and every pixel, and if there are if there is a screen pixel there and the current pixel is empty, false, like okay, so I think this function is working. I just had to add the check, I think so. Let me just check the function. So it would take the pixel array of that new block. It would just take each and every pixel, check, extract out that pixel on the screen pixels, which would be the current pixel, and it would check that whether it is empty or it has bottom true. Okay, so whether it is empty is false, and it is accumulated block. So I think this should work. The check that I have added, extra check that I have added, should work. I think so. So let me just, has reached bottom logic, let me just take it out and bring it here. Has reached bottom block, if so add it to bottom. No, I don't want add it to bottom, I just want to skip the whole function. So I'll just skip this part, so it would just stay where it has to stay, and I'll just add return here. So if this doesn't happen, it will, that means if this is not true, then it will just go on with the logic, which is update. So let's just hope this is working for left. If it is working for left, we'll just add it to right. So let me just create the tower first and then press A. Yes, it's working. Damn, I just did it. The whole function was added by itself. I just had to by itself. No, I added before time. I think last time when I was working on it, I added it. Just didn't want it to work on it. I don't remember why I didn't just went with it. But anyways, so this line was added already. I just had to add this much and it worked fine. So I'll just add this to move right also. Yes, and I'll just move the both the blocks together so that they stay together. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I'll now, if I press A, it doesn't go, and if I press D, it doesn't go ahead. Nice. Do you remember I said that if I just work on main things, there is a possibility that if I work on main core mechanics correctly, that the whole process will just work itself out. I meant this, that just if I made the logic correct, then then I just had to add one function and one check like this, and it just worked itself out. I am happy that it's working really smoothly. Literally. Let me just make another tower. Okay, so this is a straight tower, and if I keep on pressing A, like you can see here, I am pressing A again and again and nothing is happening. Same goes for D. You can see here that D, I am pressing D. Oh no, I just blocked my whole path. Anyways, so now if I keep on pressing D, nothing happens. I'm pressing D and nothing is happening. That overlapping that was occurring before is not, and I'm really grateful that it happened only in 2 lines, 4 lines, whatever. But bro, damn. Okay, damn, it is working. Awesome. So like I said, it would just work itself out. If that's why you need to figure out everything beforehand, because then, like I'm just repeating myself again. Anyways, damn. Woo. So movement of accumulated blocks is done. We'll just since it is a stable point where we have reached, I'll just commit it. Movement check with accumulated blocks. Done. Great. Okay, so Okay, so next task was doing the same for rotation. So doing the same for rotation, I think it would be just like that. Let me just create a scenario where it would work. Okay, so if this is the scenario and I rotate, then the overlap happened here. If you didn't get what I'm trying to say is, now if I rotate, okay, see, if when I rotated this was the block that was accumulated below, and this block came here, aligned here, and it was supposed to just accumulate with this block, but it rotated and created overlapped with this block, and it deleted this block, which it shouldn't. That's why you can see that there is this anomaly created here. So anomaly, whatever it is, wrong behavior. Anyways, so so rotation, w rotate. This is I think the whole thing is pretty simple. Has reach, has collided, I think has collided with bottom block, has collided with, I know I shouldn't, it's okay to write these big, it's not okay, I think so, to write. Why does it clear that? What does it clear? I didn't get what you're trying to say. Toggle timestamp. What are you trying to say, Laiva? I didn't get it. Why does it clear that? The overlapping. Are you trying to say that? Sorry. When it rotates. See. Can you explain the question again? Okay, anyways, I'll just continue with it for now. So the question, so I have added I have just changed the name of these booleans because these are now appropriate to the logic, which is if it has collided with the bottom blocks. Okay, so has collided, and I think that due to this only logic alone, it would just work for rotation as well, just like how it worked for move left and right. This only logic will work fine, but I have to patiently just try to recreate it. So I rotate it now, but it didn't rotate. When the overlapping occurred, Z and N block cleared the existing block where the overlapping occurred. That I was asking why it happens. Okay. So in rotation, so it is just it is the exact task that we didn't do which made it happen. Let me just show you what I am trying to say. It is the exact thing we are trying to achieve here, is that when rotation happens, there was no check that we added here. There was no check that would check that if there is an existing block there before rotation, and it just rotates itself, and the pixel that are on the that are existing on the in the state are overlapped because of that. I hope I am making any sense. So the blocks that I have accumulated there, when I rotate another the block which is falling, when I rotate that, it when I rotate that block, it would just brute force itself. Let me just recreate it so that I can explain. Okay, so when it is falling, it just starts rotating. When it is falling, when it is rotating, we haven't add any check, so that's why it just overlaps. But now since we add the check, it will first check that whether there is another block there, and if it is not, then it would rotate, and if it is there, it will not rotate. Simple as that. I tried to explain it, but I hope I'm getting your question. Okay, so even though I have added the check, it overlapped, which it shouldn't. No, I didn't add the check. I didn't save the file, that's why it was overlapping. Okay, so now if I rotate, it doesn't rotate if there is existing block. So if I touch it here and rotate it, it won't rotate. Do you get it? So I think it is working. Damn, it's it works. I'm a little relieved because sometimes not working makes me sad. So as it should. Anyways, so this rotation check is also done. Let me just commit it. Okay. Okay, so now what's next? Add new block check. Okay, so it was the thing which I talked about, that this whole accumulation thing, we'll work on it later, right? So I think we should is there anything since it's the so what I'm trying to figure out right now is there anything else I should do before moving forward, because we have reached a significant amount in just I don't know, half an hour. We have just done a lot of work today. uh, it's not a lot of work done, it's just that a lot was is done easily. So we have time in hand, so we should work on something that's that would create problem, right, in future, so that we don't regret going down the lane and not figuring out what to do. Now I want to say that if we have time right now, we should work on something that is bugging us. Anyways, I don't think like there is anything like that whole speed thing is that the one bug that I was trying I was explaining you about, that if I increase the speed, it would just keep colliding with everyone. That bug I cannot work it on stream because it needs a lot of research, which would just bore you for sure. It would bore me too. But I will surely come up with a solution and then explain it at least on the stream, so that you have an idea whether about it. So but for now I'll just ignore it. Keep a blind eye on it for now. So new block check. Okay, so new block is added on component did mount, create new block. Okay, create new block, get initial block, current block is then okay. I think so that here also we can work with it, and let me tell you how. I'll just take this logic and add it here, and instead of adding new current block, we'll add the current block which is the new current block. Do you get my point? So basically oh no, this looks like a little like Nazi symbol, so let me just clear it. I don't want to get my stream banned. Anyways, so instead in prior logics, what we did was we took the current block, we made a new block, and we checked whether that new block is colliding with the current bottom blocks, accumulated blocks, and if no, then we'll update it, right? So in creating new block, we'll just check for the new block that was created, and then we'll check whether it is colliding with the blocks that are accumulated. If yes, then it will just not do anything, stop it forever. We'll just add the fall interval clear also here. Okay, sorry, we'll just will not add anything. Okay, so I think only this much of logic added everywhere is enough. So let me just accumulate these blocks and make a tower, and now nothing is added, but something should be added. I this is good. I know this is good. This is awesome that happened here. Just I want to add that whole animation. The when Tetris in Tetris, when last block is added, it is added on the top of the accumulated blocks, and game over comes on the screen, right? And the game stops. So we'll just do that in here. This is also awesome because this whole accumulation just stopped, which is which is a great step we just completed in just 2 lines. Anyways, so let me just add current block. I'll add a function which will decrease the y-axis values of the block pixels till the highest amount, so the lowest amount of pixels. That means it will just check okay, it will decrease the y-axis by decrease the y-axis to z minus. It would decrease the y-axis to minus, and then it would just make it fall here. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Is take the current block, add last block is equals to this dot actually instead of doing that, I'll just decrease the y-axis by whatever the difference is there between the empty blocks, right? I think so it should work fine. Instead of creating a block above this zero, above the zero, if I create a block and then let it fall directly on it, it makes sense in a physical world, but in our array world where the whole screen is denoted by zeros, 0 to 19 and 0 to 9, if I add minus values to it, it would just throw undefined errors, which would just create which would make the whole program go chaotic. So instead we'll just calculate the distance between 0 and the highest accumulated block, and we'll just decrease the current block's y-axis with that. Okay, so get last block, we will add current block to it. What would we get last block to? Current block. So what would last block do? First of all, last block will go on take pixel from the state. These, the whole 10 by 20, that is 0 to 9, and the whole screen, it will take the screen, it to for each it will go through each pixel, go through each row, and then check whether it is empty. And the moment it finds one pixel which is not empty, it will break the for loop, get the value, and it will just break the for loop, get the y-axis value, and it will just do whatever it has to do with that. Okay, so instead we will just do for let row in pixels. So let y value y distance be null, be 0 for now. We'll just change the y value from 0 in the pixel. Okay, so const row, const row nahi, for let pixel in row. Let non is not empty. Okay, is not empty is equals to false. Oh, yes, is not empty is equals to false. So what we did is we take the pixel, we take out each row out of it, we'll go through a loop for it, then is not empty, and we'll go on each row, we'll go through each pixel and check if pixel dot is empty is equal to false. If so, is not empty is equals to true, and we'll break the loop. And if this is true, it will break the outer loop. So what? Sorry. So y distance is equals to, oh no, pixel. Okay, whenever this row y plus equal to 1, y distance. So what is it doing? So what we did now is took the pixels, went through all the rows. First, before going through the row, we created an is not empty, which is false. It went through all the pixels in the row, and if any of them is not empty, it will just toggle it to true, and it will break the row, so that no more unnecessary checking would be done. and this and when not empty is true, it will again break the loop, creating yeah, again it will break the loop and just huh uh, I I just forget. Sometimes I just lose my train of thought. Sorry for that. So when it breaks, this for loop breaks, and if this is true, another for loop breaks, and if nothing breaks, then y distance will increase, and this will happen until there is so now we will just console log the values and find out what the y distance values are, so that we get 20. What? So when this breaks, the value it gains is 20. That means it just checks till below and just forgets that something has happened, which is not supposed to. Let me just add a debugger here. So okay, why didn't it added a debugger, right? So I didn't reach. What happened to debugger? Did it not reach? It should reach, right? It is not reaching to this function for some reason. Let me just add it here. So just check whether it is reaching at least to this, and if it's not reaching to this function, then how is it stopping? Am I right? Huh? Debugger. I'm just adding debuggers left and right so that I get why it's not working. It is the way it is supposed to. Okay, so this is undefined. Okay, because this function, it has just reached this function. Okay, so it is undefined. So we'll just by this button, by pressing this button, what it does is it just keep one instruction happen at a time. So what we want to do is, this whole function, we know how what this function does. So it returns true, which it should, because we have collided with bottom blocks, so it returns true. If so, here we get true, so we check whether it is true, then it should debugger. It just okay, forget it. That it is just not pausing for the debugger. It has just started ignoring the debugger anyways. So we'll just go forward with it. So it is calling the function, and when so after calling the function, the debugger is working. I don't know why it wasn't. I think I pressed this, that's why. Okay, so now y distance is 0. We'll go with so now row is 0. Row. So what I was doing is, let row in pixels. It will assign value of the index instead of I thought that it would assign the value of that particular row. So what we have to do is do this. So pixel, and then that's it. The misunderstanding that I had is that row will have the value of that particular row, but it had the value of that row's index. I hope I'm getting the point. So let's just forget that these debuggers existed and get I'll just disable debuggers for now. This button disables the debugger. So if I press S, these will fall, and after so when this happens, 0, as it's supposed to be 0. And so the new viewers, what we are trying to do is, when the second last block falls, we need to calculate something which would calculate the distance between the second last block and the last block. So now this is 1. So what we did is, so this distance is 1 because only 1 pixel distance is there. So I think this is working fine. We just have to decrease the value such that the highest y-axis value of the blocks would be 1. So how are we going to do that? It's just a normal function which will just decrease the value to the lowest y difference, I think. Yeah. Hello PK. Hope you are doing fine today. So like last time there was 1 pixel difference. This time there is no pixel difference, that's why it's 0. Again we'll just rotate these. Oh no, this time it's 0. Ignore this overlapping that happened right now. These are some things I have not yet figured out because I don't know the whole inner working of Java and React yet. I would have to work on them off stream, because or else it would be a pretty boring stream. So now again it is 0. If it is 0, then we'll just not do anything. We'll just return some a null value to the last block and be done with it, or else if it is one value, if it is 1 or 2 or something, maximum it would be 2, I think so. So what we will do is, first of all, we'll just if y is equals to 0, return null. Okay, so and else what it would do is go through current block pixels, then for each PK. By the way, I think we are in the end game now with this project. Because a lot of things have, regarding the core mechanics, a lot of things have been done. So I think before that, so mainly we'll be then working on queuing, which will show the queue, the random blocks that are going to be added, the player can see the random blocks that will come after you work on after you stop playing with this block. I don't know, this block gets stopped, so whatever, I don't remember the terminologies, so I'm not good at explaining it. So what that is the queuing part. Then there would be scoring part, which will have, when one line completes, what would the score be added. Then when 4 lines, there is a multiplier that when if 2 lines are completed at the same time, if 3 lines are completed at the same time, there is a multiplier for that too. So 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line is called Tetris. So that, and when the game ends, what the score is going to be, then all the messages that will pop up when anything happens, like when one line is done, one line is completed, what is the message going to be shown. When Tetris happens, what message, that we will be working on that message also. So that will be, I don't know what alerts, messages, and then we'll be working on what more can we work on, I don't know. This thing, this, did you notice this whole thing that happened? Overlapping. This is something which is a bug that is causing problem for a long. That's the bug I was talking about, that I need to work on afterwards. Off stream, I would have to work on it. So let's just, okay, so where were we with the code? When y distance is 0, it will just return null. When y distance is not 0, we would have to decrease each and every chord's y distance with minus the y distance, whatever it is, and we'll just try to add it first, and then if it is not being added easily, then we have to add some null checks, because like you can see, after if there is a minus value in x-axis or y-axis, it would create a undefined error because there is nothing beyond -1. The next block will be shown is the terminology. Okay. I guess that would be the terminology. we can't use whole sentences as terminology, right? If we use that, we'll get variable names like this: has collided with bottom blocks, current check. Do you see these names? This is when you don't figure out the terminologies beforehand. This is what happens. So okay, so when this happened, 1 was printed, and when 1 is printed, this function takes place, which will be okay. So instead we will return the current block as it is, and will current block dot pixels dot map, where current will be returned as it is. What we are doing is just taking out the only part that we want to change. Other than that, everything is returned as it is. Y chord -1, minus y distance that we calculated. Okay, y chord current dot y chord, So this is then, let's just so I think the logic below should be just fine. It would just be above. I thought I abandoned that logic approach, but I think we that would be similar here. Like I said, if something goes wrong, this would happen, right? Something did went wrong, and it caused the whole game to crash. So current block, stop falling, clear falling interval, clear the interval. This dot falling interval will be cleared, and get pixel, add a new pixel, add to bottom, add block directly to bottom. I think I should do this. Add block directly to bottom, and directly bottom will have current block and the last block, right? New block. Current block would be this, and new block would be the last block. I hope so this would work. Nope, it didn't. It again created this. Something different happened this time. Okay, I think whole approach should be I think we cannot copy paste it. Let's just console for now and see what the last block looks like. so you have a better understanding of the picture. Okay, so the last block, which was supposed to be L, that we didn't know because it was rendered. Then the last block, its y-axis is, x-axis is 4 because all the blocks are in the middle, that's why the x-axis is 4, and it is L, that's why 4 4 4 5, which means it is what am I doing? So 4 4 4 5. This is the L, this is x-axis is 4 4 4, and this is 5 4 and 5 3 2 1 whatever, and the y-axis are L as follows: the 1 first y-axis, right, 1 0 and -1, and because of this -1 pixel, wait, first of all I think the minus should happen one more -1 should happen, because like we saw, even though it was 1, there were 2 pixels, so there would be an overlapping at the end. I feel like that's why I have decreased 1 by minus. Okay, so oh no, then null. Sorry for that again. We don't want it to be null, right? We want it to be some object. Arey, come on man, don't do that. I guess it is working for now, even though it shouldn't because of the overlap. Anyways, so now if we work on it, 5 4 4 3. What? Okay, so so it is S this, so it's supposed to be 5 4 4 3 5 4 4 5 5 4 4 3, and y-axis is -2 -2 -1 -2 -2 -1 -1. What? Okay. So here I think the logic with decreasing distance is wrong. The distance should be such that whole maximum y values minus the y distance. What our logic is doing is taking the distance between the bottom blocks and the zeroth position, and this distance, it is calculating this distance, right? What our logic needs to be is that the block that is need to be added, it should be such that total height of this block minus the distance we need, and whatever is this distance we need to decrease the whole coordinate with this distance. So what would that be? So if we, for that we'll just add that to our enum, like at the very start height of Z would be 2, right? Max height would be 2 because Z, S, O, they all have same height, that is 2 pixels, and I would have the height of 1, 2, 3, 4. J and L and J would have 3. And what about T? T also would have 2 height. Highest, so we'll just add that. S would have 2, L would have 3, J would have 3, O would have 2, I would have 4, T would have 2, O would have 2. Okay, so we are done with the max height. What I did is instead of creating a function which would calculate the height before, then we just added it to the data so that we don't have to go through so much pain for now. So y distance minus minus current block minus height. Okay, current block dot max height -1 would not be here, max height. Okay, so current block max height minus distance, and we'll just decrease it with the y chord. Let's just hope it works. Okay, so next was J. I think it is working. X is as it is 4, 3, right? And so with J 4 and 3, this is 3 and this is 4, right? Sorry, J I made an L. J 4 and 3, and this would be 0, this would be -1, this would be -2, and this is exactly what we needed here. Since it is a J, here it would be if we focus on this 0, only these 2 pixels would be visible that are here, and these would not be. Okay, so adding last block to the pixel. How are we going to do that? Is we'll just create another function operation for it, because it's a different operation, right? Like update the pixel. in update pixels we have different operations. Add block, update for fall, update for rotate, update for move, add block directly to bottom, and add block to bottom. These are some operations. Like that, we are creating another operation that is called operation add last block. Add last block. What would add last block do? It would take the last block which is passed, and it would just let me just copy it for now. It would just print only those blocks which are in the which are not minus values, which doesn't have x values or y values that are minus. Are we implementing the logic to stop block from coming if there is no space? We are just implementing the last block which would appear. When in Tetris, when there is no space, there a last block appears on it, and the game stops right there. We can stop the game right now, but it would just not feel right because there is still space here. We are just working on it. So what we did is when there is 0, it would do nothing because it doesn't need to do anything. But when it is more than 0, it would take the distance and add only those blocks which doesn't have a minus y value. So we are working on that. So we'll add last block true. Current block needs to be there. Current block will be null because it's the end of the game, so the current block will be null. Then for add block, we'll operation data last block. Pixels. When we used to add block, what did we do? Take the last block, we'll take the pixels block. What is this pixels? Block pixels. Okay, block pixels. New pixels would be the screen, and we'll just is empty false, right? And then we'll copy this function here. We'll remove this logic. We'll block pixels. So what it does is take the last block, it takes the block pixel, it will take the pixel, it will take pixels, the state, the screen which is supposed to be we are supposed to print the whole screen, we are supposed to print it here. Then okay, we'll clone deep it. What clone deep does, it creates a replica of pixels with exact same value, but it doesn't have the same address. So if something changes on some values changes there, it won't affect the previous state. So we did this, but if y is less than 0, is greater than or equal to 0, then only we'll do this. y or x and x is greater than 0. We are adding x just for being sure. It doesn't need to be there, just for logical symmetry. I call it logical symmetry. It's not a technical term, but just for this symmetry, just for the sake of it, I have added it here, and will also make it bottom is true. This also doesn't need to be there. We are just adding it so that keep our logic intact. Where are we working on? Right here, last block. And we'll clear, so this right here, this clear dot falling interval, this would stop the game as it right there and there. So what we know that clear function, clear interval, this dot falling interval, this would stop the game right there. There it is. Okay, so what this does is, if the last block exists, what we did is, if y is equals to 0, we'll return null, right? So we don't need to add any block if there is no space for it. So we have added a if last block, that if there is null, the whole state update won't happen, but if it is not null, it will happen, and then it will stop the game. If there is null, then nothing will happen. It will just stop the game as it right then and there. So let's, oh no, something happened. Add directly. I didn't call add direct. Okay, I did call. Pixels current block cannot destructure pixels of current block as it is null. Current block is null. Okay. Done. So what this did is, it added the last block, and we don't have to worry about anything now. Let me just add a render console log here, so that if anything is happening, it would just console log that something is rendering, right? Render console renders, anything happens here, render is called. So if the game is still going on in the back and we are not able to see it because nothing is changing, that means the game is still going on and we just don't know it yet. If render is not happening, that means nothing is going on, right? So just okay, so render stopped, that means the game stopped. And for the other case that we worked. Okay, so it did stop, but then I pressed W and it didn't work, right? So okay, so for the second case also the render worked fine. Render stopped that, so I think that this one is also done. Add last block, great. So what was that? New block add check, it was also done, right? New block add check was also done, huh? Right, new block was the check was done, and we just handled the last case, which was anyways. By the way, okay, let me just commit this, and then I'll talk about a case that I didn't look into. So commit is done, right? Okay. So we have added the new block check too. So what scenario I came across is that if I add a tower here, okay, so this scenario is working, but damn, awesome. So the whole scenario that was going inside my head was that if there is a tower here and that tower has reached to its top, if the user has created a tower here and it has reached to its top, so would this break the game? Because I thought that the whole check system would be like something has reached here, so it wouldn't render the block here also, but it is not the case. It is still rendering, and this is how the game should work, because even though the tower has reached this line, there is still space for the blocks to fall, right? So like I said, if our logic is intact, some things get figured out by themselves, like this scenario. Damn, this scenario came a lot in today's stream. Am I right? That's why working on the approach beforehand is better than figuring out it later figuring it out later, because uh, then you would have to code each and every particular scenario. You have to look for the logic and then figure it out that whether that logic would work on your approach and all. There is the whole thing gets messy, and it makes it more inefficient. And and it I am sure this is also inefficient because uh, there are see genuinely there are many cases where things are breaking, but still our approach is good. At least you get to make space when there is none because of this issue. Yes. At least wait, I didn't get. Sorry, I think the last comment you sent went bouncer. I think we can only clarify it on call verbally, because a lot of things are going inside my head right now. Things are I won't understand. I'll call you later for that. Anyways, this feels like a great point to end the stream. I think so, because a lot is working fine, ignoring these overlapping things. I'll have to work on them, but I feel I think this is a great point to end the stream for now. I'll damn, it feels good. Damn. Each time before I start the stream, I feel like nobody's gonna watch. Only you, Laiba, you are only one person that watches consistently. Other than that, nobody's watching. But it's not about the stream. That the whole thing, the whole journey is documented on a in a video format, and that whole experience is awesome, because I have not made this game, but making this game is giving me a little good feelings that yes, I can do things. Even though there is one thing that we all have in our all that self-doubt that we have in our mind, that goes away when we figure out something up and figure something out and it works. Literally, that sense of accomplishment, it's great. And each time I end the stream, I feel accomplished. So yes, that's great. I started making a design while talking. Anyways, it's great as it is. We don't need to clear. Anyways, one thing I had in mind is adding. One day there will be people other than me for the entire duration. Let's hope that happens. Let's hope that I am consistent enough that algorithms picks me up, or something like that. That I am consistent enough that my content gets better. Let's hope. And I'm able to drive people here other than you. Although I hope I have a suspicion that one day maybe I'll do that. For now, let's not count our chickens before they hatch. So one more thing that I was I want your whole your opinion on something that I want that. Do you know people have portfolios, right? So that I want that portfolio, no, sorry, profile websites that like if I make a website for myself where I'll showcase my personal projects that if I have worked on. A lot of developers have such websites. So I was thinking that there would be a pop-up which would be a like small in picture window, like in YouTube. If we playing like this window, which would be draggable, which and the whole website will be right here, and that small window will have this game, that if anyone comes to visit the website, is visiting the website, there will be a game there to play, which would be great for my portfolio. I think so, that a playable game would be there, and there would be links for my, different like my Instagram, YouTube channels, gaming channel including, and all, but would have a game right there for someone to play. Do you think it's a good idea? I think it's a great idea. I just wanted to, I just wanted you to know. I know, right? Thank you. I'll surely work once this is done. I'll do some finishing touch with it. I think we are really on the end game now, because a lot has been done, and once it is done, I'll try to integrate it in my when I'll be making my profile also on stream, I suppose. If it is not boring, then I'll make it on stream, and with other projects also, which hope so I'll make it on stream, off stream, I don't know, but I think I'll be going down that road soon. Let's end the stream on this note.